Hello everyone, Marty's the Extinction Wrestlers here, and today we have T-Rex versus Mapusaurus. Who wins? Well, let's find out. Now, before we begin, I want to put out some few misconceptions about T-Rex that I've always been watching, which quite frankly, I don't really agree with. Now, I'm not saying that the people who are saying this are wrong. They're really not. They're making valid points, and I actually do agree with some of the stuff that they're saying. Like, T Rex had a very powerful bite force, and its teeth were probably more designed to take out dinosaurs like Giganotosaurus and Spinosaurus. And while I do agree with that, I feel like at times people just tend to say that sometimes because it's like one of the most common things. I don't believe for a single moment that T Rex can take out almost every single predator dinosaur. I'm pretty sure there has to be at least one or a few that can still take him down. I'm not saying these people are wrong. I can actually agree with where they're coming from. Like Dinosaur George always says, I do agree with some of the things. I just don't agree with when these when I just don't agree with some of those conceptions about T Rex. I think they're quite a bit. I think that they're not wrong, but I just don't agree with them. And that's something Dr. George always says. It's nice to when you disagree, see other people's points, and yeah, you can have a discussion about it. One of the reasons the Arrowverse community is so toxic. Yeah. But anyways, onto the fight. I remember watching videos about this where more often people said Mapusaurus when I was always like, what? I mean, I don't agree with Mapusaurus winning, but I found it a bit strange. But anyways, here's who I think would win. T-Rex was stronger than Mapusaurus. It had more powerful bite force, and even though Mapusaurus was faster, I'd say T-Rex was larger. I don't. I kind of disagree when most people say Mapusaurus is larger. Because to me, it always seems like Mapusaurus was smaller than Tyrannotitan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Mapusaurus is smaller than Giganotosaurus or Tyrannotitan. I think Tyrannotitan's around the third largest, like Conchoratosaurus and probably the largest. Giganotosaurus is the second largest, and Tyrannotitan's like the third largest. I'm pretty sure Mapusaurus is not that large. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Mapusaurus also has an advantage in that he did hunt it in packs, which I'll do a pack versus one. Pack versus pack because T-Rex also hunted in packs, and pack versus one with Mapusaurus versus one T-Rex. Yeah. T-Rex in one-on-one against Mapusaurus should really be no really much of a fight. I think T-Rex is superior in literally all aspects. T-Rex just doesn't. I'm sorry, Mapusaurus just. I'd say Mapusaurus would be defeated by Giganotosaurus. Giganotosaurus was a much larger creature than Mapusaurus, and Giganotosaurus also tended to take out tend to be more what do you say it? Tended to be a little bit more aggressive than Mapusaurus, and at least according to research, they were. And I also think Giganotosaurus is just. I think it was more capable of taking down like Argentinosaurus or sauropods or these creatures, whereas Mapusaurus probably was not. Again, it's just my opinion. So, who would win in a one-on-one fight between T-Rex and Mapusaurus? I would have to go with T-Rex. He's more 10 out of 10. Because, sorry, Mapusaurus fans, but in my opinion, I'd say T-Rex is stronger. No, he's dealt with creatures similar to Mapusaurus and just tended to be more powerful. In this case, I can definitely say why people would say T-Rex was definitely a little bit more powerful. The only times I start to disagree is when they start saying things about like Giganosaurus and Conquerosaurus. I tend to not really agree with those kind of creatures. With Mapusaurus, I do tend to agree. But anyways, let's go on to T-Rex pack versus Mapusaurus pack. Now, according to research, it does say that while Tyrannosaurus did hunted in packs, like 3 at best, 2 or 3 at best. However, a lot of the times, most paleontologists have found out that T-Rex probably didn't get along that well. Like where they said and they found, I remember watching a video from Dinosaur George saying that he said that there are bite marks from other Tyrannosaurs on other Tyrannosaurus' skulls, suggesting that they don't get along that well. Mapusaurus, on the other hand, probably has the advantage in probably they could coordinate better, whereas T-Rex probably just didn't have that. So, in a pack versus pack, no matter how tough Tyrannosaurus Rex is, if you're in a group, but you can't function that well, like say you're in a group of 2 and you can't function that well, and you're going to be fighting your team members probably more often than the people you're fighting. The people you're fighting has a very higher chance of winning. And so, in my opinion, I'd say Mapusaurus would win in a pack versus pack. This is because T-Rexes didn't really hunt it in that many large groups. While Mapusaurus didn't, they tended to be a little bit more larger, like 4 at maximum, to tend to hunt sauropods, which were larger than Tyrannosaurus. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure because of that, T-Rex really should not really win this fight. Because, say 2 T-Rexes are fighting each other because they can't really get along that well, then 3 or 4 all the Mapusaurs attack this one T-Rex, and boom, the T-Rex should technically be out pretty quickly. Yeah, until the T-Rexes are either done fighting or ended up losing one of their teammates. Well, then the Mapusaurs have a perfect chance to attack. I don't really like using pack versus pack fights because for me, it's not that fair. But in some cases, I think it works. But I feel like doing it with I only decided to do it just to give my opinion on who would win. But yeah. Now we have 1 T-Rex versus a pack of Mapusaurus. In my opinion, T-Rex definitely had the advantage of definitely not feeling overwhelmed. But Mapusaurus at the same time was more used to taking out larger prey. This one, I'm gonna give a slight edge to T-Rex, but it's like gorilla versus a lion. Realistically, it's a tough fight, but I'm gonna give the slight edge to the gorilla. Same thing here. T-Rex was just more used to taking out creatures like Mapusaurus, and Mapusaurus was more used to taking out larger prey, was not as used to doing it as, say, someone like Tyrannosaurus. So I'd say T-Rex wins 1-on-1 and 1 versus pack T-Rex. Pack versus pack, Mapusaurus. That's the only time I think Mapusaurus should win against a T-Rex. But yeah, let me know what you think of this fight down below. Let me know who you think would win this fight. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.